And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be carrying on patch 5.5's main story in Final Fantasy XIV. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So we are here in Azizla at 12:25, and we need to talk to Estinian. And the quest is called Righteous Indignation. So Estinian is ready to lead the way to Tiamat. So Tiamat awaits this way. So how far do we need to go? Quite a way away. Alright. Let's go. Okay, we made it to Tiamat. So let's talk to her. I'm assuming it's a she. Okay, so it's a female dragon. Oh, my sire's mortal companion, what bringeth forth thee back to the forsaken place, child of man? I'm a girl.
It's plain she knows naught of recent events. Perhaps you should enlighten her.
So, okay, let me try and do a female voice this time. So my sin should be repeated. I said not the faintest stirring. As to who could have called him forth, I know none save the dragons of Mericidia, our children. Apparently that's how girls speak. But the Aegon claimed his souls when he first... Something in my voice, so that's better. And robbed of their will, they became tools for the Elegant's dark designs.
I've seen it with my own eyes. Captives of a lost empire, neither alive nor dead, existing only to preserve Bahamut's corporeal form.
Yes, the dragons of Merceridia are at the mercy of this Asylum. There can be no other explanation. I'm a girl. Accursed the Scions, vile minions of darkness. And don't forget, I'm a girl. Don't interrupt, the girl is speaking. Again, you would profane the memory of my beloved, strip our children of their freedom, their dignity. Are there no depths which you will not stoop?
Your children's pain means nothing to them. They laugh at your kind suffering. But tears will not right this wrong. nor will lamentation see the perpetrators punished.
Snosk anta in Dramon.
What wouldst thou have from me, Slayer of Dragons?
Behavior befitting a great worm. We came here to ask mighty Tiamat of the First Brood, consort of Bahamut, mother of the dragons of Mericidia, what she intends to do about the crimes committed against her children.
Santalan infan antosk. Goes rent on.
Were I free, I would answer thine insolence with fire, but words shall have to suffice. Girl power.
Ale u esk an in. Ale kum ak in.
Recall, mortals, that it was I who did first summon my beloved, praying with all my being to bring him forth. You contend with icons cannot well be ignorant of the consequence. I managed to say all of that with 3 syllables.
You too were exposed to his influence. That you are yet in possession of your own will is testament to the indomitable strength of your soul. But were you to meet with Bahamut again, you fear you might succumb.
Snoska Dramon kin. Nestra in. Illes I. Nesh an. Ala.
Indeed, ask the Dragon Slayer, and he will tell thee the power we of the First Brood wield. And were I to lose myself to icon influence, all would pay the price. I am the opposite of a man.
Unmik. Nalstra ul an. Antal an. Smon. Tahi an.
But it is of little matter, for even had I the strength to resist, I yet lack the strength to break my shackles. This prison shall be my tomb. Do these shackles make me look fat?
On the matter of Bahamut's influence, at least, I believe we can be of some assistance. If you're afraid of being enthralled, don't be. We have a cure. And while we've never tried it on one such as you, its basic principles are universal.
Usk she's in.
Speakest thou in earnest?
There is no future for those bound to the past. That you committed a terrible sin, I do not dispute. But if you feel remorse, you may yet make amends. We offer you that chance. Take it, or you will forever remain a prisoner, not of these cruel shackles, but of your own guilt.
Sahan. Seth Sol. Kin Bahamut an.
A chance to make amends. To lay Bahamut's memory to rest? Sorry, I don't pick on sober. To lay Bahamut's memory to rest?
An sumon. Na an inles. Snaloles dish an. Na ala an ul an sin an. Stan in.
When our own star faced annihilation, Hydaelyn granted us sanctuary, and now your foes would bring about her destruction. This I cannot allow, for the debt I owe Hydaelyn, and to all who have suffered for my sins. I shall fight with you, children of man. And no, I just have 10 different voices. Don't judge me. At that time, I was a handful, Jesus. Anyway, let's talk to Tia. So, while pork seeds have been shown to be effective in curing the tempered, Tiamat must be considered a special case. She is far, far larger and immeasurably more powerful than any subject treated thus far. Were we to remove her restraints only to find that the process had failed, we would be hard-pressed to contain her. Then, before going ahead, we should learn as much as we can about the exact nature of her condition. Do you suppose we can find that information here? Why, yes, we can. We can indeed. The Elegants kept detailed records on all of their noble captors, and I know exactly where to look. We shall leave that to you, then. In the meantime, the rest of us can turn our thoughts to the removal of those shackles. I know Alphanode and Mithrie here well enough, but not you. Are you certain you're ready to see this through? Rest assured, Sir Estinian, that I am both ready and willing to give all for the sake of this star, though that is not my only reason for wanting to set Tiamat free. While I do not claim to know all of her sorrows, I too once found myself in a prison of despair, and I well understand how hard it can be to dare to dream of escape. It took the encouragement of braver souls than I am to make me take the first step towards a brighter future, and I now would help Tiamat do the same. I gather you are not as young as you look. Mayhap when our work is done here, we could trade tales over a pour of Tataru's famous tea, and be indebted to her for the leaves on hot water? I think not. I see. Returning swiftly to the task at hand, then. I believe the nodes governing Tiamat's restraints are located in the sector known as the Flagship. Ah yes, we are familiar with it. The Aether Chemical Research Facility in particular. Oh, and you may wish to take this, a spirit vessel containing a small amount of my blood. Which you just happened to be carrying around with you. Yeah, literally I was thinking the same thing. I suppose that could seem rather odd. To explain, Rambros, Yuronje, and I are researching the use of spirit vessels in the transference, not only of memories, but the traits of certain bloodlines. So I keep one at the ready should an opportunity to test our theories arise. As for its use to you, you may recall that during our previous visit, the notes here granted access to restricted functions. Having identified me as being of royal blood, and armed with that spirit vessel, I posit that they will do the same for you, even in the absence of, well, the rest of me. It seemed worth a try at least. Agreed. We will have to take good care of it. Like, we will take good care of it. To the flagship, then. Okay, so we need to go to the flagship over there. So, again, once we get there, we will continue. Okay, we made it to the airship, so let's talk to Alphanode. So, let us split up and search the flagship for the node that controls Tiamat's restraints. But should we find a likely candidate, do not be tempted to make any adjustments. it would not do to accidentally release some manner of experiment monstrosity, nor less time out herself in her current state. Our objective at this stage is simply to identify the relevant nodes. Sorry, the node or nodes. Once we have learned what we can, we should reconvene and compare notes prior to proceeding. Alright, so search for the necessary node. Okay, so it's close by. Okay, here's some nodes. So, warning, scheduled dragon restraint maintenance due in 2020 years. Failure to verify system integrity may result in unscheduled specimen release. Okay. That's one. Data link with Delta Quadrant broken. Possible cause, intruder interference. Advise deployment of automated combat units. Proceed. So, friction between metallic components detected. Temperature increasing to critical levels. Please replace damaged parts or retreat to a safe distance. Fair enough. Okay, so we found them all, so now let's talk to Alpha Node again. Okay, here he is. But I'm afraid that Istinian and I have little to show for our efforts. Did you find anything? I did. A node which smelled like burnt hair. Yes, a chirping node which spontaneously warned me about neglecting the dragon restraints. And I found a way to activate mechanical sentries, if that's any help. Spontaneously, you say? Well, that does sound promising, almost suspiciously so. In fact, but then you were in possession of that spirit vessel. I dare say it is indeed the node which Graha spoke. And it was chirping, you say? Very well, let us take a closer look. Right, this one. Do you wish to operate the dragon restraint mechanisms? You do not have the requisite access privileges. Operation of the dragon restraint mechanisms may only be undertaken by the chief technologists and members of the royal family. Or those with a vessel full of royal blood, perhaps. Okay, let's put this. So it says, one never knows when a small portion of royal Allegan blood might come in handy, which is why Grahatia keeps this vessel about his person. So, your user detected, commencing biometric authentication. Authentication complete. User identified as member of the royal family. Please state your name. If you're Manafil, Alpha Node Levelier, Estinian Wormblood. I mean, really, they should say Grahatia, shouldn't they? All four of them are wrong. Welcome, Mithrie Manafil. You may operate the dragon restraint mechanisms when ready. Error. Unable to disengage restraints of this specimen time map. System update is required. A system update? What do you suppose it is asking of us? I could hazard a guess to smash it to pieces. Well, that's more than I can say. Confounded bloody thing. User agitation detected. Initiating guidance program. In order to operate the restraint mechanism, I require access to the central control system. However, I am unable to establish a link to said system due to the obsolescence of my own software. This issue can be resolved by applying a system update using the corresponding terminal located within the flagship. This message is brought to you by Microsoft. So can this release the restraints or not? It can, but only once it has received the requisite system update, as far as I can tell. Until which time, it will float there spewing nonsense. User dissatisfaction detected. Initiating placation protocols. I am here to help. Rest assured that I will be on hand to guide you through every step of the system update process. Brought to you by Amazon. How gratifying. But I dare say we will fare better with guidance than without it. Cool. Alright, let's do the next one. Okay, the next quest is called For Vengeance. The restraint node stands poised to lend a hand, figuratively speaking. So, guiding user to terminal. This way, please. Alright, so how far away do I need to go? The other side of the ship. Okay, let's go. Okay, we made it to the terminal. So let's select it. Now, let's see. According to the terminal, the central control system is presently employing software version 56.135. Dare I ask which version you are employing? Why, software version 42.002, of course. A warning, errors detected in data management system. Estimated time required for update, 5 years and 1 day. That's like Twitch doing software updates. The fix hate rating. That is rather longer than we were hoping. Aren't there any other options? For instance, using this terminal to operate tire mass restraints instead? The proposal method is indeed an option. Please be warned, however, that the procedure may have changed as a result of the system update, and my instructions may no longer be accurate. Well, I can't imagine it will have changed all that much. As long as we pay due attention to any discrepancies, I dare say we shall be able to muddle our way through. Don't bother trying to explain, just tell me if we made any progress. I would say so, yes. It does, however, require that I remain here to operate the terminal. I shall inform you via LinkPo once I am ready to release the shackles. It might be best if you left the spirit vessel with me. I may yet have a use for it. Rest assured I will be certain to return to Grahatia once this is over. Just a little more work and Tiamat will be free. But before we go any further, there is something I would know. When Tiamat and her kin fought against the Allegan Empire, both sides were but dancing to the tune of the Astions. And it was the same in Ishgard, where they stoked the fires of conflict between man and dragon from the shadows. All that the Ascian touches turns to ash, and thus have you made it your mission to fight them. But there have been times when you tried to reach out to them instead, to find common ground. And so I must ask, what do you intend to do with Fandaniel? Will you try and reach out to him too? Enemy or no, I want to understand him. I will try yes, and if that fails, I'll remember him. Certainly, after I've wiped the smile off his face. But did he not tell you that he was beyond reason? If he wishes to die, I say we oblige him. But perhaps that's the difference between you and me. You see, the good in people, even if it be but the faintest glimmer. I only hope you do not come to rue your benevolence. You think us unwise for viewing the world thus? Far from it. That has ever been your way, as I learned when we journeyed together with Iceheart. Yet the fact remains that there are some who view compassion as a weakness to be exploited, and there may come a time when you extend the hand of friendship only to wish that you had dealt the killing blow. Yeah, that's kind of dark. So save your mercy for those who deserve it. Well, we should be getting back to our task. If Alphanode has things in hand there, I suggest we rejoin the others. Cool. Alright, let's talk to Alice, who's all the way back over there. So once we get to Alice, we will continue. Okay, we made it back to Alice, so let's talk to her. Istinia told me all is well, but nothing more. Honestly, it's like getting blood out of a stone with him. I take it from Alphinode's absence that he's needed elsewhere. Well, that all sounds rather frustrating, but you got there in the end. While you were off talking to Nodes, Graha and I were learning as much as we could about Tiamat's condition. Our readings confirm that her ethereal balance leans strongly towards the umbral, and as was the case with the kobolds. Therefore, all other things being equal, the treatment should work. The difficulty lies in the sheer quantity of aether which we must contend. Multiple applications of the treatment will inevitably be required if we are to reverse the effects of the tempering completely. Meaning that it will need all the aether I can get. Thank you. Although this endeavor will ask much of us, we do have one reason to be optimistic, namely that Tiamat shows no signs of fanatical devotion, suggesting a milder case of tempering than that suffered by the kobolds. Tiamat saw Bahamut as an equal rather than a god. Might have made a difference? Now that you mention it, it's very well might. She would not have believed it necessary to defer to his will. But enough talk, it's time to put our theories to the proof. Tell Alphanode to disengage the restraints. Ethereal dampers. What if we have a fight coming up? I'm counting on you, Angelo. Oh yeah, sorry, girl voice. Such warmth. The frost that shroudeth my soul doth begin to thaw. But what are these? Visions of days long forgotten, of war with the men of Alag. Wherefore do such baleful memories return to me now? Could it be that the process of restoring her soul to its pre-tempered state is awakening ancient memories? Or might the opposite be true? If so, by helping her to recall the past, we may be able to speed her recovery. Mithrie, she trusts you. Speak to her. Ask her to tell you of times past. Tell me of Bahamut and the Scions. Tell me of your war with the men of Alag. Wicked, bloodthirsty creatures, not content with their own lands. They brought fire and death to Mercidia, our home. They left stains on the curtains. The tale began when Bahamut and I left our father's side. We took wing in search of a place to make our eyrie. Beyond the Southern Ocean, we discovered a lush and fertile land. It would come to be known as Mercidia by the children of men, though many years were to pass before they crossed the seas. Upon our arrival, we were welcomed by the peaceful people of the forest, kin to the trees, surrounded by nature's bounty. Bahamut and I found a place to raise our young. Fascinating. This correlates with the writings of the Sharlayan scholar Rurusha. He points that man first settled to the southern continent towards the end of the Second Astral Era. Correctly, it would appear. If only she were with us to hear the tale from Tiamat herself. Again, Angela. When first the children of man arrived on our shores, no foot did they set in those places over which we held dominion. Such was their fear of dragon kind. And as they kept their distance, so did we let them be. Yet as the days went by, ship after ship appeared upon the horizon, bearing ever more of their brethren, who divided the vast land amongst themselves. For a time they knew peace and prosperity. I'm a girl. But as their numbers grew, the smaller their share came to seem, and soon they began to cover the territory of their fellows. Ere long, man fought man. Blood was answered with blood, and none could see an end to the strife, until one day they came to us. Recognizing our wisdom, they entreated us to intercede in their conflicts. Bahamut agreed, and with him presiding over the affairs of men, the land knew peace once more. If you think my voice is deep, you should see what Bahamut's is like. Alas, those golden days of harmony too were fated to end, for men of Alax slew my beloved, and I, in a rage and sorrow, heeded the envenomed words of the Asians. The rest thou wast know only too wellest. But your tale doesn't have to end there. When you are free, we'll rid the world of the Asians together, and you and your beloved will have justice. My sentiments, but you're almost spent. I'll keep watch from above. If the treatment fails, run. Ugh, thanks for the vote of confidence. I swear, when this is over... Like, she loves Justinian, doesn't she? Keep going, Alice. The magic is working. Okay, let's talk to her again. So, while I knew this wasn't going to be easy, no patient could have prepared me for treating a great worm. But we're close, I can feel it. And while I've only got a few more drops of Aether left to give, with yours and Graha's, this will work. I believe I speak for both of us when I say that you may take as much as you require. Careful, I might hold you to that. Alright, here I go.
Ugh, no! I'm almost there! This is it, Angelo!
Es ließ an. Mich es tai.
Yes, I feel it. The Aegon's grip groweth weak.
Did it work?
We won't know for certain until the shackles are removed.
Tosk in Santal Ankin in way.
Answer me this, children of man. Can my kindred be saved in like manner?
Many have been subjected to the Allagan's dark arts, their flesh irrevocably altered. For such tortured souls, I fear there can be no salvation.
Ankin.
My children!
Slosk an ol folkel an. Slosk seth som in an.
Should you hearken to my call, we shall fly together once more. But should you not, I shall grant you peace.
Afterten. Mon ud. One ein. Lis a an. Do ud an.
Better to die than to live as a tool of evil. You too would wish this, I know, and I too, I shall do as I must.
When that time comes, you won't be alone. We'll stand by you.
She's in an enemy.
Thou hast my gratitude, little oneth.
Alphino's ready. It's time. Do it. And let's hope the treatment worked as it should.
Bahamut
Bahamut, my beloved.
Urjas Ur Asa Fesk
For vengeance and atonement, I rise.
By the gods!
Urianje, your timing could not be better. Understood, we're on our way. It's Bahamut. He's been sighted over Pagalthan.
Pagalthan. Okay, I'll remember
He
that.
flies for the largest amount of settlement in the region, at the head of a vast host, including dragons.
Did you hear all that, Alpha? No. You'd best rejoin your comrades. I'll make my own way. Our enemy awaits. Shall we?
Yes, we shall. Cool. Alright. Let's finish this quest. So, while I'm sure that you're desperate to join Estinian and Tiamat in battle, it would be wiser to gather the full strength of the Scions first. The foe we face demands no less. Cool. That's complete. So, I think that's a good time to stop the episode. So, anyway, guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Mithrie. Bye, guys.